This is the DJI Mini Avata. This tiny FPV drone can record stabilized video in 4K. It weighs even less than a GoPro 11 Mini, and the kicker is it's not going to burn a $629 hole in your pocket, like the DJI Avata. Instead, it's priced at $334. But this isn't actually the DJI Mini Avata. That's not even a thing. But you know what? It might as well be. And it uses the same camera and video system as the Avata, and the design is very similar. This is actually the Beta FPV Pavo Pico. Let's dive deeper into this design. You see, at first glance, you might think it's a DJI creation, but Beta FPV has made something very interesting with the Pavo Pico. The base of the frame is made from carbon fiber. Now the propeller guards, they're made from PA12, which is a type of nylon that is designed to handle a lot of stress without breaking, and it can also bend without losing its shape, which makes it a really good choice for the prop guards. So it shouldn't break easily like other Cinewhoops. But I actually haven't had the Pavo Pico for too long to be able to test its durability. The cage that houses the air unit, that's made from polypropylene. And it's known for its toughness and fatigue resistant, as well as being able to withstand high temperatures. And since the O3 air unit is a little hot pocket, it's actually a smart choice because it ensures the cage is going to maintain its strength as well as its shape. But there is a catch. In the box, you get the drone, and it comes with no video system. You have to bring your own DJI O3 air unit. And yes, it is pretty easy to assemble. I went with the Express LRS version, but you can also get this with Crossfire as well. And for some reason, it took a few goes to flash Express LRS. And look, I don't even know why it didn't work, and even why it did work, and I haven't been able to recreate the same error since. Okay, well, let's talk about how the Pavo Pico flies. First things first, if you're thinking of getting the Pavo Pico for some freestyle action, you might want to reconsider. This isn't your typical whoop for ripping around and pulling off your different freestyle maneuvers. Instead, the Pavo Pico is really designed with a specific purpose in mind. That's cinematic flying. Think of it less as a traditional FPV whoop drone and more as a tiny flying video camera. Every aspect of how the Pavo Pico is made is tailored to capture cinematic FPV shots. And the way it flies is to prioritize the smoothness and stability over pure agility. And while it might not dart around like some of the other whoops, it does offer a level of precision that's perfect for videography. Being able to hit small and tiny gaps is where this really comes in handy. It's a tool for content creators and videographers, and it offers a unique perspective that only a tiny drone of this size can do. So let's have a look at its video capabilities. The DJI O3 Air unit delivers video that, while is not the top choice for every videographer, it's certainly good enough in many scenarios, especially for web-based content anyway. The footage is clear, the colors are decent enough, and with Rocksteady as your stabilization, you're going to be able to get smooth shots, and you can also use gyroflow. Now, I've heard the debates and have been part of a few myself about whether or not the O3 Air unit can truly rival a GoPro Hero 11. And in many cases, I'd argue that it does hold its own. But, and this is the crucial thing that's essential to the Pavo Pico, is that it's actually good enough to do the job. Now, let's address the elephant in the room and to who you'd probably think this would suit: real estate videography. And it seems like an obvious use case for the Pavo Pico, given its capabilities, and you might think it's a perfect fit. Well, as a former real estate agent myself, if my videographer turned up and pulled the Pavo Pico out, I wouldn't be too impressed, especially when a gimbal in FPV mode might serve you better. Plus, you'd be able to capture high quality video, and there wouldn't be continuity issues with your footage. But that being said, it does come down to choosing the right tool for the right job. And where the Pavo Pico truly excels is in dynamic events. Think weddings, concerts, or really any gathering where something of this compact size, low noise, and not really intimidating can come into play. It's like a toy and it's really quiet, which makes it perfect for capturing those moments without drawing too much attention or causing distractions like a normal Cinewhoop would. Now, where I think the Pavo Pico is really going to shine is in scenes where you've got talent on the move, whether it's dancing, running, or performing. And because the Pavo Pico is guarded and quite nimble, it's going to be able to effortlessly fly around them, capturing angles and movements that a person with a gimbal simply couldn't. And it's going to offer dynamic shots that go beyond traditional limits, such as changing altitude, going in and out of obstacles, over and under, around all kinds of things. And these feats are really out of reach for a gimbal. And with a flight time of around 4 minutes, the Pavo Pico is really primed for those epic one-shots that are going to leave viewers in awe. And it's not just about capturing footage, but capturing those moments that tell a story and offering perspectives that, may not have been previously possible. The Pavo Pico is certainly a unique entry into the FPV market, and it's not your typical freestyle whoop, nor is it just another cine whoop. And it sits in that sweet spot where it offers the best of both worlds for some very specific scenarios. The compact design and the ability that you get from having the DJI O3 Air unit does make it a really important tool for videographers looking to capture dynamic and cinematic shots, where your traditional equipment like a gimbal or a Cinewhoop is just not going to cut it. But like all tools, it's about knowing when and how to use it. And if you're a professional videographer looking to add dynamic shots to your portfolio, and shots that weave in and out of obstacles while changing altitude, or capturing moving subjects, then the Pavo Pico is a worthy addition to your toolkit. However, if you're more into freestyle flying, or if the highest video quality is your top priority, there might be some other options out there that better suit your needs. That being said, if you need the Pavo Pico for those specific use cases where it's going to excel, it's a great little drone. I'm Darren Allett. Until next time, don't forget to send it.